I was ambassador there in April 2015 when Prime Minister Modi had first visited France.
Yeah.
And at that time, the French leadership made very special efforts to make it a special visit for the Indian Prime Minister. And in an unprecedented way, the French President Hollande went with the Indian Prime Minister on a boat ride, public boat
Yeah.
ride down the River Seine. Very
Yeah.
unusual. And there were people lined up on both sides, just welcoming this phenomenon. And then the Prime Minister also went to Toulouse, to where the French space agency is there. He went to visit the Airbus factory because, we, for example, two Indian airline companies are placing orders of 750 aircraft with Airbus. And Airbus is now looking at production, assembly of helicopters in India with an Indian partner, producing and, transport aircraft with an Indian partner. So those things are happening. There's another dimension, again, for which there's not enough visibility, either in India or in France, that more than 1.5 million Indian soldiers fought in the First World War in Europe for British-French interests. And there are monuments in France dedicated to the Indian soldiers. And I think that's recognized. In fact, the French president himself mentioned, I recall, in 2018, when he was visiting India, the French people remember that almost 160,000 Indian soldiers died in that battle. And so they recall the sacrifices that Indian soldiers made for things that eventually worked out for France as they were fighting against Germany at that time. Similarly, in the Second World War, 2.5 million Indian soldiers fought in the Second World War on behalf of the Allies. So those are important contributions that are now being recognized more and more. They were denied for a long time because the victors of those wars didn't want to show that they had relied on or used Indian soldiers in their effort. But it's all, I think, being noticed more and more now.